Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the guy who picked Hermes Franca to defeat Josh Thompson, and I'm here to talk about Rodolfo Bellato versus Ihor Potieria. Ihor Potieria is 27 years old, 19-4 as a pro, and he's giving up 2.5 inches of reach to 27-year-old Bellato, who is 11-2 as a pro. Bellato has two losses. Both of them are to Vitor Petrino. Vitor Petrino is surging in the UFC right now. He just knocked somebody out a few weeks ago. I forget who it is, even though I can kind of see the knockout. Was it Nate Marquardt? No. But he's surging in the UFC, and there's no shame in losing to him. But still, two knockout losses in 13 fights against anybody with any context, it's something to take note of. And I did make that note. There's a little bit of doubt there in Bellato's chin. He lost the first one to Petrino in round one, was pretty much steamrolled. And then in round two was a much closer fight. He actually knocked Petrino down and had a lot of success against him, grappling-wise as well. But he was, well, not a lot, but a little bit of success. But then he wasn't able to put him away, and he had the light shutout in round two. And that was Petrino's fight to get into the UFC. That was on the Contender Series. Since then, he's gone on, I think, a 3-fight winning streak, getting some good wins in the LFA, even a 5-rounder against Ocasio dos Santos, where he was largely dominant. And then he got back into the Contender Series, or onto the Contender Series, and he fought Murtaza Ali or something, I don't know, Muhammad Ali, and he beat him up and got him out of there in round two. He was doing very well, striking on the outside with leg kicks. And then the guy started to take over round one, uppercutting the shit out of him. And he went through him, just turned the fight into a brawl, started winning the inside battle, elbowing him and taking over. And he ended up pounding him out in round two. It was a great win. And gritty performance from Rodolfo Bellato, which is good. You want to see him tested and passing those tests for a guy who's, again, suffered 2 knockout losses at this point. He's a well-rounded fighter, 11 wins, 10 finishes, 6 by knockout or TKO, 4 by submission. He's definitely, I mean, he's got more TKOs, but I'd say he's more of a ground fighter, definitely better off grappling. Really good on top. He is a monster, and he's also hit triangles and knee bars as well. You watch a big guy like that, and you a lot of times would assume he's just limited to basic guillotines and rear naked chokes, but he's definitely a good grappler. And on the feet, again, he's a good striker, just maybe a little vulnerable, but still, I like what I've seen from him. Really well-rounded guy, and I do trust his skills more than Ihor Potieria. Ihor Potieria's got a beautiful record of 19-4, and maybe 3 or 4 of those wins mean something. Maybe like 2 of them. He beat Lucas Sadolski on the Contender Series, and then Shogun, and maybe there was another one. I don't know. But still a guy that can crush a lot of cans, but he's vulnerable himself. He's got 4 losses, 3 of them by knockout. Some other guy knocked him out in his second fight, but then since making it to the UFC, he's been TKO'd by Nikolai Negomarianu, and Carlos Olberg got him out of there in his last one. And he's good, big, strong, and dangerous, but I think he's a limited guy, and even trying to use his danger and his strength and whatever, he's going to run into a lot of trouble in the UFC. I don't think Ihor Potieria is long for the UFC. And I think Rodolfo Bellato, with all he has to work with, he could have a good UFC career. But he's got to grapple when he can grapple. I think here, if he could take Ihor Potieria down, not that I've seen the guy be destroyed on the ground, but I do think Rodolfo Bellato, from watching him fight, is better than Ihor Potieria, certainly. And I do think he could take advantage of him on the ground. But even if he's not able to do that, I trust Rodolfo Bellato more, even in a striking match. Rodolfo Bellato is a good striker, good on the outside again, and forced to throw down. He's got some heavy hands himself, and I think he can be too much for Ihor Potieria, even if the fight degenerates into a brawl. So The pick is Rodolfo Bellato, but Ihor Potieria at plus 325, I'd probably just play his knockout line. Hopefully you get something juicier there, but I think it's worth a sprinkle. These are big, strong guys. Rodolfo Bellato is definitely more skilled, but again, he's vulnerable. Even if you can give context to his 2 losses by saying that to this proven monster now, who's 4-0 in the UFC or whatever. But I'm picking Bellato. He's got a lot more going for him, but these odds are a little too wide for me, where I toss a few back and I might be smashing the Ihor Potieria knockout line. But I'll wait to see what that is. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit. Check out my other videos. I'll be here with Joffrey the Kitten.